Okay, screw it. Start the intro. Welcome, one and all, to another edition of Everyone Hates Us, a podcast dedicated to the beautiful sport of baseball. It's actually the art of winning and the beautiful sport of baseball, but there's not a lot of winning going on. I don't know what I'm Lee, joined by my co-host Dan Grievous, Colin Murphy. Today we're in a vertical view because if you're watching on YouTube, we've got the slideshow. I put together a little slide to let you guys know what we're talking about. I don't know how to do the point further up. That's Colin, and then the mini point is Dan. We're gonna get straight to the baseball because it is stretch run season. We are in the last quarter of the MLB season. It's getting exciting, guys. Here we go. This is where we know which teams are contenders, which teams are pretenders, which teams are chicken tenders. We're gonna find out, boys. And the Dodgers, we're gonna kick it off with the Dodgers have themselves a weekend. Hard to be mad at the results. The Dodgers swept the Padres over the weekend to retake the NL West lead after going into the series down one game to the Padres. The Dodgers then went and swept the Padres to retake the lead and put the Padres 2 games back. The Dodgers, of course, yesterday lost against the Colorado Rockies, but the Padres did us a favor and lost to the Giants too. So that maintains the lead, and then the Dodgers will be rematching in San Diego, where, don't ask me why I looked up the cost of hotels in San Diego, but they are exorbitant, absolutely exorbitant. Yeah, San Diego is really expensive right now, guys. Okay, I was gonna take Day to the zoo. That's what I was like. That would be a horrible weekend to take my son to the zoo. Everybody has the same idea as us as far as going down to San Diego from LA. So that would have been a great weekend was last weekend when San Diego was over here. Nothing's going on. Go see some elephants. But unfortunately, they got sick. So
people always say the zoo, but I think it's really all about the safari park. That's the better one to go to.
I heard that's a real banger. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
that's in Escondido, which is actually northwest of San Diego. It's a little bit. Yeah. That's enough of. That's not actually. You could probably do that in a day. That's not a crazy drive. So.
No, when I was in San Diego, we did it from Little Italy, but you could also do that from LA, especially where you're at. It's probably not too bad either.
Yeah. South. Anyway, the animals were in full force this weekend. Anyway, the Dodgers, of course, got some early runs on the board, and that was a big key factor in securing a lot of these wins. Padres' horrible defense and base running were also a factor. But Dan, one interesting takeaway from this series that we just had was that the bullpen was still really good for the Padres. The Padres still had an amazing bullpen. It seemed like you better get your runs in early because it's going to get cold out here real fast. And that was my takeaway. What were some of your takeaways from the series, Dan?
Joy, a lot of Schadenfreude. It was a good weekend of baseball. Specific takeaways, yeah. It was good to see that that we continue beating up on the Padres. But yeah, their bullpen is quite strong. But if they keep trotting Dylan Cease out there, or even you, we seem to have their number. Yeah, I don't know. Still feel about as confident as I've been with us facing the Padres, despite their great stretch coming into the series and us being swept by the Angels.
Yeah, we glossed over that little embarrassing bit there, that we were swept by the Angels going into the series. But I actually wanted to point to a Yu Darvish thing. And so Yu Darvish got knocked up pretty early. It looked like we kind of knew what was coming out of his hand, which is saying a lot for Yu Darvish. He of the 27 different pitches. It kind of knew what we knew it felt like we kind of knew what was going on. And so there was a second inning mound visit that apparently changed the signs up or like kind of corrected that something you might have been tipping. And after that, you was fine. Like he didn't give up a run after that. And so, that's what you want to see generally, right? But it was kind of encouraging for Padres fans to be able to see that. I'm sure Padres fans are just like, up in arms and upset that, it's, oh God, it's the Dodgers again. But to play devil's advocate, there's a lot to be encouraged. There's no moral victory, sure, in baseball, especially in this series. But there are definitely some signs that the Padres are every bit as competitive as they'd like to be, probably, if they just trot out, the difference between the Yu Darvish and Dylan Cease versus Nick Pivetta, Michael King. We're talking about, like some solid starting pitching. And that's the one thing I'd say to Padres fans: don't despair. There's obviously the rematch this weekend, and hopefully the better pitchers will be in line for that. Dan, what's your preview?
Yeah,
then?
I think it's. I think it's gonna. Yeah, I think it's Pivetta against on Sunday, which against I mean, it'll be a good series again. These teams are pretty evenly matched. The crowd in San Diego definitely doesn't like us, so it'll be a nice and charged environment. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, especially coming off this series. Mookie's found his mojo again, which is nice, and our bullpen has been playing well as well, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, a couple of puzzling moves that Doc made, just due to our dearth of bullpen options, was putting in Alexis Diaz in the closer spot in the second game of that series. I remember thinking, is that ERA for real or is it just a joke? Like Alexis Diaz going into that outing had a 7.7 ERA. Like that is insane. And
yeah, I
might know, younger brother of Edwin Diaz. I thought the younger brother was supposed to be better in sports. Like what? Like this guy's the. What happened to Alexis? Like Edwin's way better than this guy.
I mean, he was quite good a couple of years ago, but I remember when we picked him up, we talked about it here on the pod, and Reds fans seemed not upset that they were letting him go, which is never a good sign. But I mean, I guess the series has been or the last few games has been pretty emblematic of him. Like he did okay in one game, and then he gave up a run in one third of an inning in the next game. So he's sort of has a tendency to one step forward, two steps back.
But that wasn't the ninth inning, and that's what I'm sorry, I'll stop. Yeah. It's Dave Roberts' ninth inning mojo for Alexis Diaz. I think the broadcast was talking about that at length, was that he needed the pressure of the ninth inning to really perform. And I'm just like, sir, it's Dodgers Padres. Like, please don't give up runs. Like, if there's a series for you to not give up runs, this is the one. Like, please don't give up runs. I don't. Do you think the bullpen is fixed, or do you think?
I mean, yeah, they're looking good. I continue to have Vesia has been solid. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Dreyer. And we, presumably we'll have some more of these arms coming back. I feel about as good as you can right now with all the guys that are missing. But yeah, I feel pretty. I feel a lot better now than I did 2-3 weeks ago, handing it off to the bullpen, which it's nice. It's nice to not.
There ain't much Roomba up from 2-3 weeks ago. Like you got us giving up runs, then Tanner Scott going out, and just Murph. Now that we got to the negative part of the Dodgers, I actually do want to ask you, as a third party, as a D-backs fan, it's good baseball. Do you appreciate this series at all? Do you have a rooting interest? Like, what are your thoughts on this series? Like, because it's getting that national hype because it was such a good series last year. So, what are your thoughts here?
I mean, obviously, it's an important one for the NL West. You guys have kind of destroyed the NL West for 15 years at this point. with the one Giants having to win like 107 games to be the only breakup in that. So on the other hand, I'm a little more of a crabs in a bucket guy, and if someone's gonna, if everyone's gonna be miserable, I'd rather they all be miserable with me. If I'm gonna be miserable, sorry, I want everyone else to be miserable with me. So I kind of like the fact that there's a solid justification that we've been the most successful team in the division the last decade. The Giants have the one division title, but we have the NL title, so that trumps that. The Padres have an NLCS appearance. Cool, I guess. I prefer teams that win those. So yeah, I mean, Rockies obviously are irrelevant as always. But so on one hand, as much as I really don't like the Dodgers, I would love to see the Padres, win the division. I also kind of enjoy the fact that the Rockies have never won the division, like you guys kept them from in 2018 in the game 163. And I honestly probably wouldn't mind if you guys keep the Padres from winning it again, because I'm pretty sure we also are like pretty close on division titles historically, despite the Padres being 30 or 40 years older than us. So, I don't really want them to add to their legacy. The Dodgers and Giants are ahead of all of us. I kind of like the idea that we probably have a solid argument for third best legacy team in the division. And so, yeah, I'm kind of just going to rub the salt in the wound in whoever loses, if I'm being honest. I know more Dodgers fans than Padre fans. So that's obviously, a lot of times easier, but I found out on Wednesday that my biggest trivia rivals, they're all San Diego Padre guys. So, obviously love to get, well, having to take a bunch of L's isn't too bad either.
This is so petty. Like Colin somehow got even more petty than I thought he'd be, and turned it into a crabs in a bucket argument, which I appreciate sincerely. Like, it's hard to be mad at that. So Colin, like, I think the argument, it is kind of a quick sidebar. Are the D-backs the third most storied franchise in the division? Like, I think so, right? Like,
one World Series win is a lot more than zero.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, yeah. Right?
And they have another World Series appearance on top of that.
Yeah, and versus their one World Series appearance, right?
Yeah.
We've also both won the division 5 times. I would say the team that's done this in, 27 years versus the team that's done it for, 60 or 70? I would say that, we kind of have the advantage there. So, yeah, I think we do. I mean, the Rockies have no claim to it. They've never even won the division.
But how the D-backs had a player better than Tony Gwynn?
Randy Johnson.
Okay, like a position player.
No, our best position player.
I mean, yeah, I can't do Randy Johnson because he's kind of a carpetbagger. Like, he did have the best years of his career in Arizona, but like he had a good stretch before that somewhere else. And then Tony Gwynn's literally Mr. Padre, right? So,
yeah, but
sure, but Tony Gwynn never won the World Series. Randy Johnson,
just stick it to them, Dan. You know what? I mean, just fuck him. Like.
Randy Johnson has more World Series wins with the Diamondbacks than the Padres do as a franchise. So.
Fuck you, Tony Gwynn. You didn't do anything wrong, but fuck you.
Four straight Cy Young wins. I mean, I don't know. Like,
so unnecessary. So unnecessary. Okay. Well, putting the focus on the D-backs for a little bit. Murph, oh boy. There's been a little bit of drama over in D-back town. So I, as a horrible person, will peruse other teams' subreddits just to see how things are going, just check in. And last week, there was a hubbub about something that's going on regarding Ketel Marte, his standing on the team, whether he's available in trades. It's a lot of like stuff coming out. I believe Bob Nightingale tweeted about it. I don't even know why I wasted 10 seconds of my airtime mentioning Bob Nightingale. But anyway, there's clearly something going on here, Murph. What the hell is going on with your straddling third and fourth place team? Like, why is there so much drama? Like, what happened?
So, I like the pun, by the way. I didn't actually see this ahead of time. Ketel full of teas, nice. But just to go to Nightingale for a second, the dude has no sources. He literally just ripped the Piacero article that was written in like the Arizona newspaper. And then he's just going off the Hazen comments at the deadline where he flat out said like no one's truly untouchable in this league. And that is the full Nightingale thing. He didn't talk to anyone. He has no sources on this. His sources were an article that was published 2 days before he made the comment. Just to be very, very clear on that. The sources for all this it's mainly Picero and Gambo, two of the better beat writers that Arizona has. So as far as, I don't know necessarily about trade rumors. There's nothing that has substantiated that in any way besides Hazen's claim that no one is untouchable. So I don't believe that there's anything there. I do believe that there was an issue in the clubhouse. I do believe that players have been frustrated about time off he's taken. I'm not fully totally confident on the timeline, but the timeline that generally seems to be presented is coming back from the All-Star game. He went back to the Dominican Republic instead of coming back to Arizona with the team. And then before the break ended, his house got broken into and he elected to extend his stay in the Dominican Republic. And then he missed the first 2 or 3 games from the season for coming out back after the break. We actually won all those games, which for everyone saying it could cause us to sell, absolutely it did not. Like we won all those games. We actually started losing when he came back. But I think that's more of a, that's just a chance thing more than anything. And yeah, so there are some teammates miffed about it. We had a bunch of quotes. There's a lot of rumors about who is behind this, including, a lot of players were traded away that were very vocal about wanting to stay in Arizona. There's also, and this is no surprise to you, I talked about this last year, final week of the regular season, Ketel Marte asked to sit out a game against the Giants. Everyone thought it was Lovello originally, and then Ketel actually came out to take the heat off Lovello and said, no, I asked for the day off. We lost that game to the Giants, and as you know, we missed the playoffs by a tiebreak. So that certainly, I think, stung a lot of people the wrong way. And so that's kind of what the basis of all this is. The general perception from the team has been this is kind of a big nothing burger. Yes, some people were frustrated. The locker room has dealt with it. Ketel's issued a full apology to the team and everything else. Even did a second one yesterday before the game. So I don't think there's a whole lot here. He's still the best second baseman in baseball. He's on a very, very good type of contract a team like the Diamondbacks needs to have players on if they want to compete against teams like the Dodgers war chest. So I don't really suspect anything's going to go here. He's talked about how Arizona is his real home, even over the Dominican Republic. This is before the scandal even came out, how he feels more Arizonan than Dominican at this point. So again, I think this is a big nothing burger, all things aside. Is he maybe a little bit of a diva, has asked some time away and has annoyed some people? Sure. Like you put 26 guys in a locker room, you're not going to be best friends with everyone. Underperforming season after missing the playoffs last year. I'm sure you could get some quotes from a couple people about some things. I don't really think this is a big issue though, but yes, I mean, it does seem like for once the national media is interested in our team. And of course it's over locker room drama.
Well, it is a distraction while the team's having a pretty solid run of games lately. They have been winning a few. So
we just dropped 3 or 4 of the Rockies.
Yeah, it was right before, this all came out before that. So it was coming out during that, the beginning of that series. And I was just like, what is going on? You guys can't catch a break out here.
No, but I'm not very concerned about this heading into 2026. I don't think he's going to get moved. Again, if there is an actual issue with him, we would not have extended him over that past offseason on a very reasonable extension. It's not like he was an impending free agent this year anyway. He was already locked down for multiple years. We just tacked on 3 more to make it 6 more years. So there was no reason for us to add those years on. I was actually a little surprised when we did it, just because paying people in their late 30s has not really been a Hazen move in general, which I think kind of speaks to the opposite, that the team views him as someone that they want to keep around. So I don't think...
As they should.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Pretty good ball player, this guy.
Unless you think magically that the real people making the decisions here, Kendrick, the owner, Hall, president of baseball operations, Hazen, all of a sudden just had a 180 over how he's acted this year. I just find that incredibly hard to believe. Also, I'll point out that for people who thought this is an ownership psyop of sorts, Kendrick has had no problem shitting on our players in public before. He does this all the time. He publicly called out Luis Gonzalez for steroid use. He called out Justin Upton for his lack of consistency. He said Steven Drew is milking his time back from an injury and was more concerned about where he was playing next year than this year. He called out Jordan Montgomery and said it was one of the contracts he most regretted ever giving out in the middle of a season. Like, to think that he would be doing subliminals is just absolute fantasy. He has called out our best players before. He's called out franchise legends before. He's an old man that would absolutely he's perfectly comfortable putting his name behind something like this. He would have told you if he thought he had an issue with Ketel.
Fair enough. Well, thanks for that illuminating breakdown. Yeah, because Murph, you'd be surprised, right? Like, there's so many narratives that fly around, and just having some clarity on an issue that is fraught with a lot of vagueness and who said what and unnamed sources, and Bob Nightingale having to clarify that he based it off of an article that he read, that he tweeted that, which is there needs to be some form of like journalistic malpractice. Like, we trust you, kinda, Bob. Like you're kind of a butt of a lot of jokes. But geez, like, to start crap like that, I don't know, man. So
yeah, and I do want to just reiterate though, like, the guys who have been commenting on this, it's Piacero's article, but Gambo has backed this up for weeks beforehand. And those are about the two most plugged in people you can get with Arizona sports. These are the guys that broke the Corbin Burns deal when the national media was completely, shocked by it. Like, these guys know these things before the national guys when it comes to Arizona sports. These are the best beat writers that we have. If they're speaking on it, there's probably some truth to it. Like, how big of a deal is it? That's a question. And if you read the Piacero article, I actually encourage people to. It's a lot less damning than the Nightingale one is. I think it's a lot more nuanced of a take of what actually was going on. And he kind of takes both sides, because obviously I don't think he's trying to burn bridges either here.
Real nice. All right. Well, back to teams that are playoff relevant. Sorry, had to do it.
It's deserved.
It was right there. It was right there. But thanks for that recap, Murph. It is actually helpful. Okay, so guys, the trades happened. Okay, Dan and I had a huge fight. Like, is it? Who cares? Like, I was like, who gives a shit? And Dan's like, no, I give a shit. It matters. And turns out, Dan was right. It made some ripples. Some of these ripples are very bad ripples. Like, you made a cannonball in the pool and now there's no water in the pool left. And then some of these are just like, oh, it actually worked out as intended. There's some very, very it worked out pieces already. Now, with the caveat, it is pretty early to tell. Now, Dan and I were talking about this before the show started. These sample sizes are pretty small. We're talking about like 3 starts, right? In the case of Dustin May. Yeah. But it is enough for us to kind of have a quick gander, who's for real, who's fake, who's a Costco chicken bake, like, I'm gonna.
Is that for real or fake?
That's a chicken bake is real. But it doesn't really move the needle, right? It's like, it's a chicken bake, like, it's not a pizza, it's not a hot dog, it's a chicken bake. It's like, I guess, yeah. I don't know, guys. I'm just gonna incorporate chicken as many times as I can. But yeah, let's start with. All right, Dan, you want to do the rundown, or you want me to kind of name off some teams? Because we were just starting. Actually, I'm gonna take it easy on the Padres right now. We're gonna go from the top with Boston, since we were just talking about them. The Boston Red Sox acquired Dustin May, and how's that working out so far?
Dustin May, I mean, again, it's 3 starts, but he's been pretty damn good. I kind of wish he did this for us this year, but yeah, he's at a 2.87 ERA, 9.8K per 9. He's been great. I was saying before the podcast started, clearly he just missed Walker Buehler, and now that they're back in a rotation together, he's got his mojo back.
That synergy, like, maybe Breslow's unlocked something, right? He's like, oh, if I put these 2 guys together, they'll start playing well together, because Walker Buehler, of course, has been a pretty tough watch this year for the Red Sox. So, okay. Who do you think is like, go ahead. Sorry. I'm really sorry.
Sorry. Just that they're in the, they're in a wild card spot right now. They're in playoff position, if he can keep pitching like this, he'd be a huge addition in a playoff rotation, which he has experience in.
If we make it to the World Series and May blanks us, it's gonna hurt so bad. It's gonna hurt so bad. Like if it's the Red Sox in the World Series for some strange reason, and it's us, and May just blanks us and Bueller torches us, I'm gonna be sick. Like I grew up with these guys. Like what the hell?
That would be rough. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, let's do this. Who's the biggest winner so far? Who made the move and it worked out like peaches or even better than peaches?
Well, I'd say like kind of what we predicted, the short-term gains for the Padres are pretty good. Like Ramon Laureano has been tearing the cover off the ball. I think he's got a 175 OPS plus since he joined the team. Mason Miller has 18 strikeouts per 9 innings since he joined the team, like with a 2.45 ERA. Like they've been great as advertised. But at the same time, Leo DeVries has already been promoted to AA since he went to the Athletic. So it balances out. I'm sure the A's are still happy with the trades. But yeah, I mean, short-term gains, like the Padres look good. Like their additions look solid. Yeah, another move that's been quite successful so far, as as predicted, the mojo of Carlos Correa going back to Houston. He's clearly feeding off that. He's has a 143 OPS plus since he joined. That's been really good. Yeah, I think one underrated addition that I don't think we mentioned last time was the Reds picking up Zach Littell, who's sort of a run-of-the-mill starter, but he's been really good for them, and they're in the midst of a very competitive wild card race with the Mets now, and having another really good starter in that has been a huge addition for them. And even we laughed about it, but picking up Ke'Bryan Hayes for them, like the defensive mojo that he brings. Like, have you seen some of the plays that he's already like? Did you see the game he had against the Angels? What's Matt Vasgersian was like yelling on the broadcast because of how ridiculous some of the plays that Ke'Bryan Hayes was making on defense. So that, like, he's the sort of player that is so amazing on defense that it sort of makes up for how god awful he is on offense.
Yeah, you're gonna eat the 85 OPS plus or whatever he's putting up right now. And Dan, so who are the losers? Like who? And actually, no. Before we transition into losers, Dan, is there an argument to be made that I'm sure Padres fans are saying like, we got all these things at the deadline, we can't even beat the freaking Dodgers. Like, if they don't beat the Dodgers, is it a failure necessarily because they are in a win now like mode? Like, does it put pressure on them to win the next series against us?
I mean, I think there's definitely pressure on them to win this next series, but ultimately it's going to come down to what they do in the playoffs. I think they're going all in and trying to win a championship, which they've never done. And if they manage to do that, then yes. And if they don't, then I mean, it's still better vibes than it's been in San Diego for the last, like, before the last few years. Like, the Padres came up on the schedule. It was like, oh yeah, we get to chill for 3-4 games. Nice.
It's been a while since we've been. It's been a while. They've been pretty solid for a good bit.
Well, yeah, but ever since AJ Preller came in and started wheeling and dealing and picking up all these guys, so this is a continuation of that. Ultimately, this is a team that expects to win. A lot of people say they were the second best team in baseball last year, and that's the sort of team that, if it's championship or bust, really. But ultimately, they're in the much tougher side of the bracket with the Dodgers and the Phillies and and the Brewers, who have been absolutely scorching.
We'll get to that.
And so it'll be tough, but it's a lot of talent on that team, obviously.
That's kind of where I'm at with them as well. And if they get swept again, let's say in this series, like they're staring down a first round best of 3 matchup versus the Dodgers. They go out in 2 games there. Like, how can you not call everything they just did like a complete failure? I mean, I'm just being honest here. Like, if you're the Padres, this is probably one of the best runs they've had in their franchise's history. And, they are realistically staring down having absolutely nothing to show for it. Like, no division titles, no pennants, no nothing. They'll have an NLCS appearance, and that's about it. And this is like an extended run of contention under Preller, as you kind of mentioned, Dan. That's like, this has been a very great stretch for them. But that only gets you so far, especially with the fan base. And they've been trading away so many players, and they are really looking at the 2030s being the year of the Padres prospects, the decade of the Padres prospects coming to fruition with like guys like James Wood, CJ Abrams, Mackenzie Gore, maybe, DeVries, like some of these other guys. Like, the Padres could be looking at a lot of that farm and staring back and was like, oh man, those NLDS losses, those were the good days. And, those are words you do not want to be saying. So I do think there is a lot of pressure on
that one NLCS run was pretty sweet.
Yeah. We lost in 5.
That sounds a little like the Clippers. One Western Conference Finals run was.
We made it to the Western Conference Finals, guys.
Peak. So, yeah, and I don't mean on this to clown on them. It's just, very much they need to get something out of this. And so I don't necessarily think this series is like a huge thing. It is in the sense, it's versus Dodgers. They still have a great shot at the division, but at the end of the day, they need something to come out of this, a division title, like a World Series run. They are World Series or bust, but I think the fan base would also just go giddy over a division title, like as well at this point. Dethroning the Dodgers is no small feat either. But they have to have something come from this core. Otherwise, they're just going to be looking back, and it's just that's just going to be tough to look back at a core like this and realize that, you were less successful than the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, and to Colin's point, dethroning the Dodgers will be a little tough this year as they just dropped the season series to the Dodgers in that sweep. So they at least will not own the tiebreak. So they got to win it outright, and that's a tall order for this team. But they do have the firepower, as the fellas mentioned. Damn, Colin, tell me how you really feel. Shit, like this is just what take them down a peg, bro. Like, damn.
This is what it means, though, when you're in a win now window like this, and you're trading away top prospects to try and like increase your win percentage on the margins. It does make these like winning or losing this year now has become very important to them. And I think I was a little bit more like broad in the sense of what success could mean. Like a division title, I think, could do that. But yeah, I mean, if they're a wild card, 3-game exit, is anyone in San Diego really going to be happy that they traded away DeVries for that? Like, it's.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Ultimately, this is the best run of success they've had maybe ever, but their biggest achievement is beating the Dodgers in a first round series one time.
They really got us, though. They really showed us. We never recovered from that. All right, I'll stop being smug. Okay, Dan, there are losers here. There are definitely losers here at the trade line. Like, back to the trade deadline check-ins. There are definitely losers so far. Who's the top of your list? Who's the top of your naughty list? They traded and it didn't do shit. Like, what happened?
I think, of the big names that moved, it's Eugenio Suarez. Like, he's got a 30 OPS plus so far. He's done absolutely nothing. I was saying the last time we were on, the vibes were amazing when he arrived, like the reunion, because he was just on the Mariners, so they all know him. They seemed thrilled to have him, and yeah, he's a streaky hitter, and obviously he can turn it around. But so far he's been 70% worse than league average, which is not what you want for the guy that you traded for the big acquisition at the deadline.
And 110 worse than the Diamondbacks. What they traded for. He was 142 OPS plus in the desert, 30 with the Mariners.
Yeah, that's not ideal. But at the same time, a lot of these losers, like it sort of balances out. Like Naylor's been good for them. All of a sudden, he's a stolen base fiend with them.
The most dangerous base runner in baseball. Move over Chandler Simpson. Here comes Josh Naylor.
Dude, he has more WAR with the Mariners than he has with us. He's on a 7 WAR pace right now with the Mariners.
That's wild. And then the other I mean, you never know. On the Mariners, Naylor and Rowley have been stealing bases. Like they just know how to, pick their moments.
What, you don't think they're fast, Dan? Is that what you're saying?
They are documented as not being fast. Yeah. But yeah, like in the other case that immediately pops to mind, Ryan Helsley for the Mets, who's been terrible so far, a 7+ ERA. They picked up 2 other bullpen arms who've been quite good. Like they've Gregory Soto and Tyler Rogers. I had to write Tyler really big because I can't tell the 2 Rogers apart.
Taylor and Tyler,
yeah. They've both been really good with them. So they did make their bullpen better, which was the priority. They paid a lot for the guy who's been easily the worst, but the other Soto hasn't allowed a run yet, and Tyler Rogers is sub-2 ERA. Like they've been 2 really good additions. So it sort of has balanced out a little bit. I couldn't find another team that we were sort of laughing at last week, the Yankees. They had that terrible first game, or I don't know if it was the first game, but where all the 3 bullpen arms that they acquired allowed runs and they lost. And yeah, Doval and Jake Bird, who's still in AAA, have not been good for them, but Bednar after that game has a 2.16 ERA. Like he's been great. Like they, I think what we're seeing here is a lot of teams sort of cast a wideish net or threw darts on the board, and some of them hit and some of them didn't. But ultimately, if you're trying to make your team better down the stretch, if you're hitting any of those darts, that's a win, I'd say, because you're trading away prospects for guys for right now. Like a win is a win.
That's a good point, is that wide net, casting a wide net point, which is that, out of these guys, one of them is going to work out. Some of them are going to cost more than others, but ultimately what you're looking for is someone who's going to, add to the team right now in exchange for usually prospects that you're not too keen on, trying to develop rapidly or anything like that. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad you have that perspective to say like, hey, it does kind of even out for most teams, and usually there's a piece or 2 that's like doing their job and what you kind of got them to be doing. And of course, it's still early. There's plenty of time for them to round into form, except for you, Jake Bird. I don't know how you got negative half a win already, but Jesus Christ. Sorry, Jake. See you next year, maybe.
Call out Willie Castro, the big batting addition for the Cubs. He has a -1 OPS plus right now.
How do you have a negative OPS plus?
I don't know if I'd seen that before.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Good God.
That's pitcher level.
That is pitcher level. You're more than 100% worse than league average. That is definitely something. Okay.
Speaking of pitchers, I wanted to call out 2 more.
Sure.
We talked about the Charlie Morton acquisition for the Tigers, and he's actually been quite solid for them. A sub 3-something ERA with 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. All of a sudden, he's looking like Charlie Morton again, which is what they wanted. Like he, at best, like they already have Skubal and Flaherty, so if he can line up as a 3rd starter for them, that'd be huge. And the other thing is Shane Bieber is expected to make his season debut on Friday, so we can start to see whether that acquisition by the Blue Jays how that's gonna look.
Very interesting. Yeah, the Biebs is returning. Well, one team kind of got their deadline acquisition as being the team that, it was really just like players getting healthy. And in the case of our next team, one major player getting healthy, a certain Brandon Woodruff, who has been freaking unstoppable since coming back. This team is on fire. Of course, we're talking about the Milwaukee Brewers, and they have been refusing to lose. They just don't feel like it. They don't want to. And so maybe they'll do it once, and they'll get right back to it. Freddie Peralta, of course, after the Brewers dropped the game, I believe it was Andrew Abbott and the Phillies who did that to them?
The Reds.
Oh, the Reds, sorry, yeah. Andrew Abbott spun a gem and finally got the finally put an end to this reign of terror. And then, of course, Freddie Peralta comes in on a Monday, comes back early and says, hey, guess what? We're back to winning. The Brewers have pulled 8 games ahead of the Cubs. And this is without the Cubs. Like, it's not like they're playing horribly, like it's not like some horrible slide that they've had. And the Brewers just, it's by virtue of just, hey, we don't feel like losing. Dan, are they going to do something this year in the playoffs? Like, is this, what are you thinking, man?
Yeah, they're, it like on paper, like, they've been good at everything. Like they've been good at pitching and they've been good at hitting. The only thing they haven't been great at is hitting home runs, but they've been scoring a ton of runs anyways. It kind of reminds me of the mid 2010s Royals, where they sort of just grit and grind wins out and have good pitching and sort of just make it happen. And if they can keep doing that, then yeah, we've seen teams like that succeed in the playoffs. They have a good bullpen with Uribe and McGill, and with Freddie Peralta and now Woodruff. If they can get Mazeroski pitching well again, that'd be 3 killer pitchers for the playoffs. They've been doing this run without Jackson Chourio. Like, Jackson Chourio hasn't played since the end of July, and he's, like, if he comes back, that's another huge addition for them. They're looking really good. I remember floating the idea that the spirit of Bob Uecker would inspire them this year, Mr. Baseball. And I mean, right now they're looking great. Yeah. And another thing I was going to mention, they have this big series in Chicago yesterday on the day game that they were able to play before the storm came in. The stadium was like half Brewers fans. Like it was a great atmosphere. Like you could hear "Let's Go Brewers" on the broadcast, which is wild. Usually it's the other way around. The Cubs fans like to call the Brewers Park like Wrigley Field North, but right now the vibes are so flipped that it was impressive to see that yesterday.
Brewers fans traveling. Never thought I'd see the day.
It's really not that far between Milwaukee and Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's shorter than
But still,
me
like,
driving to Orange County.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice. That's very doable.
It's really close.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
But still, yeah. But still, it's a huge series. You expected the Cubs fans to come out, but the Brewers contingent being that strong was still surprising to me.
I think being 8 games back will do that to you.
Yeah.
You just be like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's bear
I
season.
don't remember where I was exactly, but this last week I think in line to get coffee or something, and there was a couple Cubs fans in front of me, like just depressed about the Brewers. Like, I don't think the Brewers are ever gonna lose again. Like.
Dude, how do you think Reds fans feel? I think they've lost 13 straight series to the Brewers. Is what I saw when they won the second game of the series. It's just, I mean, that's just pain. Like, 13 straight. Ugh.
How do you think we feel? The Dodgers have been swept in 2 straight series against this team. You know who the real little brother is? It's them. They're the ones who finally like, you know what? I'm tired of taking your shit. All right, and they punch us in the mouth and then sweep us 2 times in a row. It is insane. Like, they are good.
Angels also swept you guys twice in a row. So.
Yeah, but nobody gives a shit about them. They're not going to the playoffs.
That's just Artie Moreno sold his soul just to dominate us, but
yeah, their franchise is the monkey paw curl. Okay, like.
But yeah, I mean, the Brewers have been consistently good since 2018, 2017, and they lost Stearns. He went to the Mets, didn't matter. They lost Counsell. He went to the Cubs for like $40 million, didn't matter. They just keep chugging along with their what was it, pocket pancakes, and they just...
Oh my god, that's right. Jesus Christ, how could I forget the most important part? Like, I can't believe I didn't get a photo of that. Oh Jesus. Okay, yeah, they keep chugging along. Dan, I would posit to you, this is the real little brother. It's the one that has been in the playoffs consistently, has every reason to do better than they've been doing. and we're just like, not this year, guys. And so, and it might be this year. It might be this year. Legit threat to overtake the NL side and win the NL pennant.
I mean, we were talking about the Padres never winning a World Series. The Brewers are one of the other very few teams to never have won it.
They are famished. They're famished. And you know what? They don't have Daddy Warbucks trading all these elite prospects away so they could get like high name Juan Soto's and like, high end like fucking trade targets. No, they built from within. It's like, Christian Yelich, we're gonna the last bit of baseball you got in you. We're gonna squeeze until we get as many wins above replacement as we can. Like they're really, and like Corbin Burns walks, right? Like they trade him for his walk year, right? And it's just like, how is this team still good? Like Council's gone. How are they still good? Like, and they just keep finding ways in a notoriously competitive division. There are 3 teams in there that really, really care about baseball, like the Chicago Cubs, the Milwaukee Brewers,
Cardinals,
and the St. Louis Cardinals are all in the same freaking division. These are like historically competitive teams. So like for them to consistently be on top, and the Cards have done that. They've gotten splashy trade targets like Nolan Arenado, like Paul Goldschmidt, and Brewers kind of just overshadowed all of that. They were just like, that's cool.
Just keep chugging along.
Figuratively and literally.
They're starting to feel a little like the NL Rays. Like they keep losing guys in the office, guys on the field, and they just keep finding replacements. They keep making arms. Like Jose Quintana's pitching really well for them this year, and he hasn't been good in a couple of years.
Now there's a name.
They just keep finding diamonds in the rough, which good for them. I'm liking I'm really enjoying being in Chicago for this Brewers run. It has been it's a unique, not unique, but it's the first time I get to experience an NL Central race in person like this.
Between the Cubs, the White Sox, the Bulls, the Bears. Murph, this question's for you. Is this the darkest period in Chicago sports history?
Darkest period? Oh, that's a great question, actually, because the 80s, just with the Bears, there's no way. 90s with Jordan, absolutely not. I mean, they won a decade. They ended the streak in 2005 and 2016. So, yeah, I mean, this decade, as far as I can really think,
and the Blackhawks were really good around that time.
Yeah, around the same time.
Yeah, late 2000s. But the Blackhawks are horrible right now.
Yep.
Like, the Bulls are mired in the play-in game mediocrity. The White Sox just went from promising to awful in record-breaking time. The Bears have their new quarterback they're delusional about.
That last one. I don't like that last one. Yeah, no.
I was going to mention that from our building, you can see like some of the apartments in the building over. And the other day, like 3 different TVs were watching the Bears preseason game. So they're really excited about the Bears here. I'm excited to see the NFC North.
You guys are fucked up, man.
What I was excited for was when was it Ben Johnson said that his expectation for practice, like what he needs to see out of guys. His baseline is 70% completion percentage. And then he asked what Caleb's was, and he tried to scoff it off, and it came out 55%.
That's not scoff offable. Hold on.
So that's what I'm excited for.
Not feeling great. As a huge Caleb fan, not great. Okay. So Murph, we are staring down probably the worst Chicago sports period in quite some time.
I think so. I mean, I believe in general, they've always had something they could turn to, sport wise, to get really hyped about. Not really a whole lot of positives right now. The Cubs are the highest.
The Cubs are the best. Yeah.
I mean, there's no hope with the Blackhawks and Bulls right now. The White Sox are completely aimless as well. The Bears still look like the 4th best team in the division. The Cubs are really it right now if you're a Chicago sports fan. And I would even say, just even if you look at the results of this decade in the playoffs. Like they really haven't had even a lot of the almost runs that you've seen from time to time either. So yeah, I mean the Bears are in the middle of their longer playoff droughts. For as much as people stick on the Bears, like their defense and everything else normally gets them in the playoffs like every now and then. But yeah, they haven't made it fields.
It doesn't look
yearning
good
for the Rex Grossman years is quite something.
Like Lance Briggs and Urlacher, that's what you're thinking about. But like the reason why it's so bleak is because that division, sorry to switch gears to football real quick, but that NFC North is terrifying. There's literally like 3 contending teams ahead of you. So that's why like Bears fans shouldn't get their hopes up too much, is because like there are established good teams ahead of you in the Lions, Packers, and Vikings, where you shouldn't really expect to win the division or make a serious run of the wild card or expect to win more than 2 divisional games. Like, not to be a dick or anything, but like to be a dick, like how are you supposed to beat these teams? Like,
I mean, if you're a Bears fan, you're just looking for progress from Caleb, and that's what you're going for this year.
I mean, that's the realistic expectation.
Yeah, that's a realistic fan.
We know Bears fans. That's not what they're thinking.
Yeah,
that's what they should be thinking. But no, so yeah, I would agree with you. I think the Cubs are the only thing they really have going for them.
And even that's a little. Yeah,
I mean, look, they're 8 games back.
Underwhelming.
Yeah,
they're 8 games back. They won. They broke the curse in 2016, and then all of those guys almost immediately fell off. Like Chris Bryant, Javi Baez, Rizzo. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's true. Schwarber has continued hitting Schwarber.
Schwarber was barely on that team. Like he was just barely made it to that team.
Also, they got rid of him like pretty much instantly afterwards.
Yeah.
So he didn't do it with them either.
Oh,
true.
Man.
But yeah, since then, not much. The vibes were like they were very excited in the city about the Cubs a few weeks ago, and then the Brewers decided to go thermonuclear and just run away with the division. So
I mean, the Brewers have owned this division for a solid amount of time at this point. Though.
Yeah,
like this is a prolonged stretch of dominance, like akin to the Astros and Dodgers. I'd almost say. Dodgers obviously is longer than all of those, but like we are talking about, 7-ish years, like where they've pretty much
I think they've only missed the playoffs once since 2018, something like that.
They own the NL mid, they really do, and so that's that's a claim. That's a hell of a claim, and it looks like they're gonna do it again. They keep it up. They're 8 games out in front. That's a pretty tough lead to overcome. So I think the D-backs are closer to making a fucking wild card spot than the Cubs are to winning the division.
We're only 7 back.
Yeah, literally. So
not that I'm counting or anything. But yeah, it's one that I don't think gets talked about a lot, and it's probably because they've really had very, very little success in the playoffs. But the Brewers have been regular season like merchants for quite a bit here, almost a decade. And it's a pretty impressive run that they're on.
The little brother's punching back, guys. That's our real little brother over in Milwaukee. That's our real little brother. They're punching back. They're the mini Dodgers.
No,
so
your little brother is the Angels, and they already punched you.
No, that's the youngest brother, and he set the he cut our dicks off. Like that was like what was that all about? Yeah.
I will never understand how they managed to be so competitive in the Freeway Series every single year.
I swear to God, Artie just builds a team to beat us. Like, and it's just we're like, oh shit, thank God, Angels games.
Freeway Series.
Yeah, we're like, oh, the Dodgers Doc's probably like, oh, thank God, I don't have to game plan for this shit. It's the fucking Angels. Like, so he's like, oh, I'm gonna go back home, guys. And then the Angels are like, this is our World Series. Like, get up. They got they got the whole speech in the fucking locker room. Like, they got Al Pacino doing Any Given Sunday. Like, we die for that inch. Like they're all ready to go. I don't know what the fuck it is, man.
And like my Angels fan friend texted me like a couple memes, and I was like, "Congrats, dude! Like,
way to go, dog. Let's go, man. Yeah, Zach Neto, he looks good. It's like that's all I can come up with. It's like you guys actually have like hope now. Like, look, Zach Neto, Shanuel, like they look pretty good.
Shanuel's been
Logan O'Hoppe, like I fuck with these guys. They're pretty good. Like. I mean, that's all you can give. It's like I guess your young guys are good again. It's no longer aging vets who are wasting away on your team. Yeah, it's just Good for the Angels. Go them. But the Brewers, this might be the year they finally just punch us back in the mouth and it's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. And then they go to the World Series and lose. So who knows? But Godspeed to the Brewers. Great fan base.
I think they have as good of a chance as anyone in the NL.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And that if the Miz shapes into for sure a playoff starter, don't want to play that team.
I think it actually put them as the NL favorites right now. If I were to like put odds on anything, and it's solely because they're pretty much a guaranteed lock to get one of the buys, and skipping the best of 3 is probably the biggest thing you can do for your World Series odds, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I would probably say if you were to give me odds on everyone, I wouldn't favor them in a couple of the series, but I would absolutely favor them overall, like from a pure percentage play.
Yeah, no, they definitely. That's more than in play for them, the first round bye. So, okay.
They have a 7-game lead on or 8-game lead on the bye right now.
Oh,
which is you guys.
Yeah,
so it's really 9.
We're kind of bummed. Damn. Yeah. All right. Well, we like playing more baseball anyway, right? You know, especially a year after winning the World Series. That's what you want to do is play more baseball.
You guys are only a half game behind the Phillies, so it's like you can get the second bye. I'm just saying, like they have to really drop the Brewers at this point. They make themselves quite a lead.
I mean, the vibes, everything's kind of coming together, but it is a little bit early. It's a little bit early. There's still a lot of baseball left to be played. So it's not
about a fourth of the season.
Yeah. It's a little early, but the vibes are immaculate, boys. Brewers definitely a threat. Let's move on. We'll be right back. When we get back, we're gonna do our matchup we're looking forward to, gratitude and rants. You know, everybody's favorite segment. And by everybody, I mean nobody's favorite segment. We gotta come up with something else for this last segment, guys. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right. You guys ready to roll?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was ready for your you could make a dig about the snakes, so I already had my vibes joke comment. But maybe I'll just use it in a future one.
Oh God. Okay.
Vibes was it was not gonna be that bad. It was just vibes are full Green Day. Wake me up when September ends.
Wake me up for Cardinals season. Wake me up when Trey McBride catches a touchdown. That's what I'm here for. All right, let's get back to it. All right, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lee. This is Dan Grievitz and Colin Murphy, my co-hosts. We are going to get into matchups we're looking forward to, gratitude and rants. And to kick us off today, somebody's soccer team, and I'm going to call it soccer just to piss off all the people who call it football. Somebody's soccer team beat my soccer team in their season opener. So that's the person who's going first, because fuck you. Dan, give us your MGR.
MGR. Okay. We're introducing podcast specific lingo now. That's cool. Let's see. Matchups. The best pitching matchup this week is going on right now. Actually, Tarek Skubal against Hunter Brown.
Sweet Jesus. Sorry. That's happening right now? Hold on.
That's happening right now.
Oh my God.
0-0 in the third. Beyond that, it's sort of take your pick between interesting matchups, but nothing crazy. There's Robbie Ray against Freddie Peralta and Kevin Gossman against Yuri Perez. Like, they're fine. Really, the matchup I'm looking forward to is just watching a whole bunch of soccer this weekend. Like
fuck.
Premier League started last week, and so did the Spanish League, and then Serie A and Bundesliga start this weekend. So there's going to be a whole bunch of games. Not a bunch of big high-profile ones. Probably the best game of the weekend is Man City Tottenham, which as an Arsenal fan, I'll be rooting for the meteor, as so to speak. But yeah, it's just nice to have all these leagues back. The vibes will be good. Which segues into what I'm grateful for, which is the Arsenal Man U game this past weekend. As the meme that I sent and is on the slide, for those of you who can't see, Arsenal won a very, very ugly game, which they really had no business winning. yeah, they basically created nothing in the open field. They only scored a goal on a set piece. The goalie David Raya had to make several saves. There was a very controversial non-penalty call in the 88th minute that would have tied the game, would have given Man U the opportunity to tie the game. And all that to say, I do not care. It is amazing to start the season off with 3 points at Old Trafford, especially with the bad, terrible refereeing luck we had last year with several red cards and penalties controversially going against us. In general, it's just nice to have a team that can win ugly, which they definitely did not do for a long, long time, most of the time that I've been a fan. So yeah, I think it's just the third time in like the last 15 years that Arsenal gets a win at Old Trafford regardless. So yeah, I don't care how we did it. 3 points is 3 points. My rant is something that I should have ranted about last podcast, but I forgot. I'm sure you guys saw that the WNBA has been experiencing a rash of sex toys being thrown onto the court, which at first seemed very dumb, but has grown more and more upsetting just seeing the reaction from everyone online and friends. Like, it has been, there's like the sheer joy that certain corners of the internet seem to be taking from this, and then some friends literally texting me having a great time about this, which, yeah, on its face, it's a very silly visual, but it's very demeaning and very like trying to put down this league through sexualization. And yeah, I don't know, I thought it was very, like, it should be a non-story. It shouldn't have happened, but it should have been a non-story. But then seeing just the absolute like uproar from half of the internet has been upsetting. Like, yeah, it should have been just like,
yeah, I'm shocked at this story too, because Bills fans did this to Tom Brady for a decade. And like most people that follow the NFL don't even know, but Bills fans used to throw tons of dildos at, I guess we weren't saying the word out loud, but yeah, they used to throw tons of them every time they were in Buffalo, like on the field, like every time they were in the end zone trying to score. Like, you just knew that there was going to be like, 3 to 5.
well, that's different. They're wearing helmets, so it's fine.
Oh, for sure. But still, it's like, it's not like this is like an original idea to throw these onto a field or whatever. The Bills did this to Brady for so long. You can see so many images of him if you care to look online.
I think the fact that it was targeted at a specific guy and a guy who who victimized that team specifically for so long, that takes a different aspect. Like, that's a interdivision rivalry, and that seems fun. This doesn't seem fun. Like, this seems, yeah, there is a upsetting undertone of like misogyny here, which I do not enjoy, and especially not with the reaction to it.
For sure.
To take it to another level, I don't think I've ever heard about something being thrown on a court or a pitch that has made me think like, oh, that's funny. Like, it's always like something fucking terrible, like throwing banana peels, like when there's like a black player on the opposing team. Like, it's like shit like that always comes out. And so I'm more of the mind, like, just don't throw anything. Like, what the hell is wrong with you guys?
The only time it's good is when they the octopuses at Red Wings. Like, that, it's fun. Like, that's a fun tradition. I think.
What's wrong with people? All right.
I would say in general, most of the hockey ones, because like you throw the hats when someone has a hat trick.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And other people have copied the octopus thing with fish and other seafood. Like,
yeah,
kind of a waste of food, but like I'm still okay with it. These are just traditions, though. Like,
exactly. but
they're
those
Yeah.
are kind of more understanding of. But it's like the banana peel incidents, the sex
Hmm.
toys being thrown on it. Like it's like not funny. You know, that's the other thing. It's just not funny. And I have a pretty lowbrow sense of humor, and even I don't think it's funny. Like I just think it's stupid. You know, it's just like
Yeah.
what's like what? You know, like. But on the bright side, I don't think I've seen the WNBA get this much coverage since Caitlin Clark came to town. So like on the bright side, like, you know, it is getting some, you know, national press. It is for a really crappy thing, but like I think a lot of people will have the reaction of like, oh, that's dumb, you know, like whatever. But like, oh shit, like this basketball is actually pretty good. Like they're actually playing ball. You know, like I bet you that girl would hoop you up. You know, like that kind of stuff. And then you just start talking, and then you start watching. Who knows? You start watching the game, which the WNBA I think could definitely use some more eyeballs. It could always use more eyeballs. This is a pretty ugly way to get them, but they could use it.
Yeah,
I think those
I
players
mean-
need to get paid. Like that's the real discussion. Those players need to get paid, dude. Like this is it's getting ridiculous. Like they make less than like a freaking janitor. You know, like it's kind of insane. So yeah,
well,
no.
there's about to like the CBA is about to run out, so that'll be addressed very soon. There's a new TV deal coming and everything. But
Good luck,
yeah,
ladies. Get your money.
They've had some weird allies in this. I don't know if you guys saw, but Portnoy had a very detailed breakdown
Oh, yeah.
of
did see
how
that.
much they're getting ripped off by the WNBA ownership. And there's been a lot of weird allyships. I think that have come out over.
Yeah, Portnoy said he would buy a Boston team in a second. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You guys saw John Skipper talking about it with Pablo Torre? Like, he's
No,
like
I didn't see
advocating
that.
for buying a team. He's like, yeah, you buy it because it's going to go up in value by like 10x in like, 5 years or whatever, right? Like,
yeah,
that's why you buy the team.
I mean, the league is gaining a lot of traction, and there's a bunch of like with Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers and Juju coming in. Like, there's a whole bunch of recognizable and marketable players that's what a league needs. And yeah, it's getting momentum, which is nice.
Get your money, ladies.
But
Forget the
also
dildos. No one gives a shit about
back to
those.
your original thing. Honestly, if someone goes to a lot of games, dude, I hate every unnecessary interruption though.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really doesn't even matter what is thrown. I honestly
Even like a
think that's
streaker on the
it.
field. Like, I don't
Oh,
even
no, those
like.
are the worst because
Yeah.
it's like forever.
Oh, yeah.
Run away. I don't even like the beach balls at Dodger games because those things always end up on the field. Too.
Oh, 100%.
I'm totally pro the person
Yeah.
that stabs them to
Yes.
so they get deflated.
But we were there to watch baseball. Like, they're there because like
Yeah.
their girlfriend likes, staring at Corey Seager's ass or something. Like, sorry, Corey. I don't know why you're the first one to get to mind. Cal Raleigh's ass or something. Like.
How many games have you been to where that's been a possibility?
I have literally sat. I don't want to put them on blast, but there's a group of gals who took me to a game
Was it
and
against the
sat me
Mariners?
on the first baseline. Not kidding. These were banging seats, really nice seats. And it's because
Bellinger.
Cody was playing first base that day. And so they're just staring at Cody's. The amount of videos that were taken of Cody's ass that night was just out of control. Like, I was just like, these are the best seats I've had in quite some time. Not sure I'm willing to pay that price again. Like, not the physical monetary price, but the price of like just having to see videos of Cody's butt being taken. Not feeling that. I was like, this feels kind of wrong. Like, I would feel weird if it was a girl. Like, if we were in a WNBA game and a guy was doing that, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? Stop. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it was weird. Yeah, not a huge fan. But yeah, unnecessary
But at the
interruptions.
same time, I do enjoy, fans going to the game. Like, that sort of thing brings in fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a good thing. But yeah.
Stupid
do it
beach
less.
balls. I should pop them myself too. Like, we're all three of us are fully capable of just popping one of these in our hands. Like, we should totally do that. Can we commit, like, make a blood oath that if we ever get a beach ball, we'll catch it and just pop that shit? Like,
that would require me putting my beer down. Probably not staying up for that.
oh, the humanity. How could we stop the double fisting Murphy? Like,
What do we? Yeah.
I don't think a cup of beer is gonna pop a beach ball. I just don't know what's gonna happen here.
just try to get our first blood oath on air, and you guys are just, more concerned about your mango carts.
Yeah. Mango carts are fire.
They are indeed. Murph, you're going next.
Yeah.
Matchup, gratitude, rants.
Matchup. As you guys probably know from my text thread, I'm all in on the Little League World Series. So
Oh yeah.
championship is this Saturday, I believe, or this Sunday. It's this weekend. But right now, there's only 9 teams left eligible. South Dakota is being Washington in the 4th inning, 1-0. That'll drop it down to our final 8. And there's a lot of like interest here in the sense that like a lot of the traditional U.S. teams are out and they're out early. Hawaii's been eliminated. California, all their teams are out. Texas is out. Florida is out. So like the most recent team to win on the U.S. side is Nevada, which is also Las Vegas, which is the team that came out here, who have also been absolutely dominant during this run. Probably the favorites to come out of the American side. But outside that, we're staring down a Washington. Washington hasn't represented the U.S. since 1982. South Carolina and South Dakota have literally never made the finals. And Connecticut hasn't been there since 1989. So Nevada is the only team that's made it in my lifetime here. So yeah, it's a lot. Great chance for some fresh blood coming out from the American side. And then, from the international side, the 2 most dominant teams and probably the most dominant team of the tournament overall has been Chinese Taipei, who I don't believe has given up a run yet in the entire tournament.
Damn.
Their
What?
pitching has been absolutely insane, but they're going up against Venezuela, which is representing Barquisimeto, which, if that rings a bell, which it shouldn't because I definitely mispronounced it, that's the hometown of Carlos Carrasco.
All right.
Just to bring a majors reference for everyone here. And, Venezuela has not made the Little League World Series final since 2000. Taiwan is the defending international champs. They did lose to the U.S. though last year. Japan is on the other loser side. They haven't made the final since 2017. They're also, though, the last international team to win. The U.S. has been dominating the Little League World Series as of recently. And then finally, the big underdog on the international side, Aruba, which is where Xander Bogaerts is from. They've never made the final. Curacao, their other Kingdom of Netherlands compatriot that they compete with in the World Baseball Classic, has been one of the most dominant teams the past decade. But Aruba itself has never actually made the Little League World Series final. So that's what I'm looking forward to. A lot of fun storylines. And honestly, this is going to go right into my grateful as well. I've actually enjoyed a lot of the coaching I've seen here. I have not seen the traditional stereotypical Little League coaches here. Now, part of this could be because they're mic'd up. And they probably know they're on TV. But even then, there's only so much you can do when you're mad about your pitcher blowing a lead and, serving up meatballs. And especially watching the Hawaii-South Carolina game earlier, Hawaii's a team that has, big ambitions. It's a team that traditionally does very well. They've been consistently beating California in the regional. So probably a lot of expectations there. But even then, as some of his pitchers just didn't have it today. It was nice to see more supportive coaches than the more yelling style, and even interacting with each other. There was a controversial play, and I did not actually know the rule on this, but there was a 2-2 count. The ball hit the batter on the hands, and it went into fair territory. And so then there's a debate over what gets called there. The ump initially ruled a foul ball, but apparently actually has hit the bat to be foul. And so it was not fair, even though the ball was fully fair, and it would end up being a strikeout because of that. So that wasn't. I did not know that was the rule on a 2-2 count when you swing at it. But apparently, as the player thought he got to first on a drop third strike. So there's like a lot of different interpretations of the play. And then you had both the South Carolina and Hawaiian coaches like mic'd up, just chatting with each other, and they were very pleasantly talking to each other for a 1-run game in the 6th inning, which is the final inning. So it was good to see. My rant, actually, I had something else, but I saw something that came out today that greatly disturbed me, and I kind of want to make this front and center. And this has to do with the Cubs Brewers game that we lightly talked about earlier, and specifically the Cubs, I would say, media team and their producers at the stadium, who put this poor man on blast who has laptop and was working at the stadium. Then they tweeted that all over their socials. It's like they want this poor guy to get fired. I don't know why they're doing this. Like, he's clearly a diehard fan, was trying to, double dip, work, and be at the game. And they're making this way too public, trying to make this a new Oasis video or something. I think they're going to be greatly,
Coldplay.
disappointed.
Coldplay.
Yeah, Coldplay. Sorry. Yeah. Oasis is at the Rose Bowl, I think, next month. I think that's what's on my mind. But yeah, people are not going to, a cheating CEO versus a low-level engineer skipping out on work is not really going to be viewed the same way by the public. I don't know why they tweeted it. Bad enough they showed him multiple times on the Jumbotron, but this is overkill. Dude, leave the guy alone. They want to hear about this guy not having a job tomorrow. It just seems so mean-spirited for one of your diehard fans who's literally ditching work to come work in the stadium. You're going to put him on blast like that. I don't like that at all.
That is. Do you know if he's an engineer, Colin, or did you just kind of speculate that?
That's just speculation.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what's a work from home position that you'd have a laptop in. I mean, it could be like a manager of sorts or something else. But as software engineer, I know many people who have done this. So, dude, don't put people on blast like that. It's stop being narcs.
All right.
Shades of Ferris Bueller's Day Off when they go to the Cubs game and they get put on TV and almost get caught that way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Snitches get stitches, says Colin Murphy. That sucks, man. But then you can always count on the Cubs to be like disgustingly corporate and
Yeah.
Anyway, we won't go there. All right. Match I'm looking forward to. I can't believe Dan didn't mention this. It's the rematch, the Dodgers versus Padres rematch. This is some good baseball, man. Like you can tell the Dodgers just care more. Like we try to act like we don't care more, but we definitely care a little bit more, right? It's like, oh, I got stuff with the Angels. That sucks. It's like we lose a single fucking game to the Padres. I swear to God. Like,
no, this is the important series.
It's the important series, so it'll be fun to watch. Obviously, it's still too early to say this is like a determinant for the NL West or anything like that. I do think it will make things a lot harder for the Padres if they can't get a game. But that's a hell of a matchup I'm looking forward to. And yeah, maybe they've tried out the good pitchers. I believe you said Pivetta on Sunday.
Yeah, I forget the actual matchups.
Yeah, let's see the matchups later, and because it's all TBD right now on the website. So
I think when I looked earlier, I think I saw it's likely going to be Kershaw versus Cease, Darvish versus Snell, and then Pivetta versus Glasnow.
Yikes. Okay.
Oh no, Pivetta misses this one.
Who's
shoot, I missed the other
Michael
one.
King?
I put it. No, it's not King. Oh, it might be Pivetta. Sorry, King skips it. Pivetta's the one that makes it.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. That's my matchup I'm looking forward to. Gratitude. I would like to thank the baseball gods for whatever they did to get Mookie Betts back on track. Because holy hell, it was rough watching this guy play. Like, this guy was a shallow infield pop-up merchant. Like, I would get so mad every time you see the launch angle off the ball on TV, and you're just like, fuck. Right? Like, and it was a lot of fuck. Like, every time Mookie hit the ball, and I was just like, and finally, it's starting to, the arc that Dan knows what I'm talking about. Mookie's got a right-handed swing where if he goes at a high fastball, he hit it, he pulled it towards third base, but it's probably going to shoot the gap. And like, it's one of those things where like, it reminds me of the hit that he got in the World Series against the Rays after they pulled Blake Snell. And I believe it was Fairbanks who threw a high heater. That is like a trademark to me. Like, that's like very comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, you see it, you're just like, yep, he hit it. So I've been missing that. It's like the baseball equivalent of like ASMR for me, where like I need to see that to feel like a certain type of comfort. And I haven't had that all season, I feel like. And so finally to see Mookie start fucking raking is amazing. That's what I want. So I'm just really happy to see him play well. And I don't know anybody who doesn't. He's a great guy. Everybody loves him. And then congratulations to him on buying a professional bowling franchise. He did it.
Nice.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. You're going to make it a big thing, baby. And then my rant. Okay,
Player owner.
Yeah. Player owner, yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you're not the Michael Jordan of player owners for bowling. Okay. My rant. So you guys know me to be a pretty big UFC fan. I am aware that the UFC fan base doesn't have a lot of overlap with other sports, believe it or not. Because these are people who just want to see fights. It also is a lot of like, so as somebody who actually, I used to sell things to UFC fans. I sold cards, and the shipping addresses I was shipping to was always like parts of Florida that you've never heard of, like for lack of a better term, they're going to flyover states. The fans are flyover state people, and a big chunk of this fan base is flyover state people. And no time has that felt more prevalent than right now when they're talking about putting a UFC event at the White House. To me, this you guys, I love this country. I love America. I love the United States. 250 years is a really freaking big deal to me. Like, that is a long time for something like this to be working out. To cheapen that with a fucking UFC fight on the White House lawn, to me, it not only is horrible for optics, like for the White House and America, but it's just like such a trashy thing to do when the UFC has approximately 0 American champions right now. Like, I don't know how to put this in a way that people are going to understand. There are more Russian champions than fucking American champions right now.
Well, that's why the White House likes them, obviously.
That must be it. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking.
Would they even argue that they're Russian though? Like, aren't they most Dagestani? And
So,
like, yeah.
Dagestan is surprisingly only one champion from Dagestan.
Okay,
That's the lightweight champion.
I don't know too much. I know Dagestan produces a lot.
They just created a Chechen champion, from Chechnya. These are like, you know what I'm saying? Not our favorite places if we're America, you know what I'm saying? Like, and at the same time, what would it be like? And then the eligible American champion would be John Jones, who, like, no, just no. Like, they're joking about having Tom Aspinall versus John Jones on the White House lawn. That's not funny, guys. Like, well, yeah, it's kind of funny, but like, don't do that, because Tom Aspinall is going to kick his ass. Like, I'm sorry, but to have an Englishman beat the shit out of John Jones on our 250th birthday is not a good look, guys. So, like, I just
bring back Mayweather versus Ricky Hatton.
You might need that. We might need that. Or, like, I don't know, Tank Davis versus insert British guy here. Like, I don't know what the hell this is, but it's so trashy. I hope it doesn't happen. It's a bad look for the sport. It's a bad look for America. It's just such a disgusting thing to try to do. And because, yeah, I don't think the sport wants people to know that there are no freaking American champions. Like, literally none. So, I hope it doesn't happen, guys. But that's my rant. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, I think it's happening.
I got a bad feeling it's going to happen too. Anyway,
but it is a very stupid idea.
It's the stupidest sporting event idea I've ever heard. Yeah, I've ever heard. It's like the stupidest, and it's because it's the magnitude of the event that you are quote unquote celebrating, and the cheapest possible thing you could put on to celebrate that. Like, I would literally rather have a baseball game on the White House lawn. That would be dope.
That'd be great.
Right? I would be down for that. Okay. A fucking UFC fight. What is American about a sport in which we have so precious few actual American champions? Like, we get our ass kicked all the time. Our best champion is John fucking Jones. Okay, like, think, guys, think. All right, he hit a pregnant woman and drove away. Okay, like, that's the kind of champion we have. All right, I'll stop.
What's it called? The answer to that, would be, don't we just go the female route? Isn't Kayla Harrison still good?
Oh shit. Yeah, Kayla Harrison would be dope. The thing is, like, still, no. Like, it's just the idea of a UFC fight. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, yeah, like,
I forgot Kayla Harrison just won the belt. Yeah, shout out Kayla Harrison. Dominant champ. She's scary. It's her versus Nunes for the next one. That would be fun. But, like, yeah. I think she's the only American champion we have.
Okay.
Like, literally, it's Kayla Harrison. And John Jones was just stripped because, he's not going to fight Tom Aspinall. He knows that Tom's going to cook his ass. So, anyway. Fuck John Jones, by the way.
I really should have my counter for this one.
Yeah, I dropped a few. Anyway, that's our episode today. Thanks so much for joining. Oh, Dan's got something.
Sorry. One last matchup. I quickly looked at the probable pitchers for the series this weekend, and Nestor Cortez is expected to start on Saturday, which means Nestor Cortez against Freddie Freeman. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Oh, that should be a good one. Why the hell would you pick up Nestor Cortez if you're the Padres? Did you just turn off your TV after the NLDS last year? Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
That was immediately my first thought when they picked him up. Like, oh, but
you guys want to make magic twice? All right, cool. That should be fun. Godspeed to Nestor Cortez. He deserved better than what he got. He really did try his best for the Yankees. Okay. We'll call it there. I'm Lee, joined by my amazing co-hosts, Dan Grievitz. We're going to do this. And then Colin Murphy. This has been another edition of Everyone Hates Us. We really got to change his name. And ain't nobody hate us. Get the fuck out of here. And then give us a like, leave a comment, say what's up, share it with your friends. We'll be here next week. See you soon.
See y'all.